Hello, I am Gerardo Ramirez Chavez. I am 18 years old. I come from Estado de Mexico, more specifically Toluca, and I am here to tell you a little bit about myself and give you a little insights into my personal identity. So let's begin. I think I kind of got a liking to cooking and a liking for food from my mother. She has like this extreme ability to cook. I don't know how she does it, but there are, for example, my favorite dish is spaghetti alla bolognese, but I hated it one time I went to a restaurant and I ordered it, and I realized that I only liked it when my mother made it. I like to attribute it to nostalgia, but I also like to attribute it to the good cooking of my mom. I am the youngest son out of a family of 6 people. My 3 sisters, my father, and my mother. I love them really much. I'm studying currently here in Monterrey. I'm abroad, so it took a little bit of adjusting to get used to, right? To living without family. I think I'm very close to them and I miss them. And I think they really had an impact on the things I will start to like and dislike around my short life. And well, an example of that, well, my father used to play a lot of 80s music so at that time I really didn't know what even the 80s was, right? Or I had a little grasp on the concept of music. But nowadays I really dig that style, that 80s style. It's weird because it's an era that I never lived in, right? But through my father, through my mother, sometimes through my sisters, I got to experience many media from that time, especially American and British rock, for example, in music. And I think I adopted this aesthetic now in my identity, now that I'm a young man. I think an example of this debate that I think is characteristic of me is my liking of Billy Joel's music. Billy Joel was very famous in the 1970s. He's kind of an old guy. He's an old guy, but he is a rock star. I don't know how to explain it. He looks so docile, but he looks so powerful when he's in concert. I especially like his songs where he takes like a deep dive into his psyche, right? I feel it's like a man with old ways, like trying to free himself from those old ways, not always making it like very human. Like it's not the story of this perfect champion, right? It's of a human, of a man with mistakes and everything, and I really like that from his music, from his stories. Finally, I'd like to close with a little like section. I asked myself if I were to be put in a painting where I would like to be, and always the answer that came up was Nighthawks by Edward Hopper. I was also like telling the teacher to talk about him because I like that specific painting so much. I don't know, I really feel at home when I look at it. I like that like dirtiness, that mundacity of the scene that it's painted there, and I don't know. I think that's part of humanity, and I think humanity is part of my identity. I always make questions to myself about these topics, like difficult topics. What is love and humanity, and I always find this kind of fascination for its complexity. And I think that's also part of me, of how I look at the world. I'm always, well, I'm always open for excitement, right? Like for something new. And I rarely like to slow down. I think life is too short to settle. I think that's basically a good summary about my views on life, my identity, my cultural heritage, my family, how you can see most of my likings have a familiar like background. So I wish you liked it, and I'll see you later.